On today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I make the ultimate quick strike rig. Hey there outdoor YouTubers, it's Dave Knetter from Knetter's Practical Outdoors. And you know, a while back I made a video. The video was called Ice Fishing the Ultimate Quick Strike Rig. And I showed you guys this quick strike rig that I like to make. It's kind of unique. I call it the K slide or Knetter slide. And I use it when I fish for pike with dead bait. And there's a few things about it that make it kind of unique. There's a few things about it that I think makes it a little better than some of the commercially sold quick strike rigs. And you know, if you're interested in really getting into why I think it's a better rig than what you can buy on the market out there right now, some of the things that make it better, I encourage you guys to check out that video. You know, if you use dead bait for pike at all through the ice, check out that video. And you know, I think you'll be kind of interested and maybe want to give it a try. But since making that video, I did get some feedback from you guys. You know, a lot of you guys are saying, hey, it looks like a great rig, but why don't you show us how you make it? So here we are, and I'm going to show you guys how I make it. Okay, first things first, fluorocarbon. I do like to use fluorocarbon with this. I do incorporate a little bit of wire into it. You'll see what I'm getting at here in a minute. But I start off the main leader being fluorocarbon. This is actually 50-pound P-line fluorocarbon leader. And I'm just going to peel off maybe about 3 feet of it. Cut that off, and we're going to start with that. Okay? And then just kind of normal stuff. I actually attach a swivel to it. And I don't do anything too fancy there. Just kind of a normal fisherman's knot. Okay. Cinch it down real good. Cut the tag end off. And there we go. Just put a swivel on it. Okay. The other end, we're going to attach a split ring to it. And I do this maybe a little bit differently, a little bit different knot. I actually kind of run it through. I just kind of run the line through there once, leave a few inches, and then I just kind of wrap it around and tie a knot in both those. Pull that tight, and for this a lot of times I'll even grab it with pliers and just kind of pull it tight, cinch it down. Again, I'm going to cut the tag end off of it. So we kind of got this loop with that split ring on it. Okay? Alright, now we're going to set that down for a minute. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to take our AFW tooth-proof stainless leader. And here we go. I actually use, this is a pretty thin leader. Single strand, 27-pound test. Single strand leader. And I'm going to pull off, I don't know, 10, 12 inches. It's going to give us plenty. Okay? And then Gamakatsu treble hooks. These are the ones I really like to use. These are number 6. I think these ones here that I'm actually putting on this are number 4. Okay, and now we're going to need some leader sleeves or some crimps. AFW again, size 1. That works real good with these really thin leaders. Okay. So we're going to take that real thin leader. Okay. We got that sleeve on our wire. treble hook. I'm going to wrap that back around and shove it through that sleeve. And we're going to pull it down till it's just that small loop on the end. Okay? And I actually use just these electrical pliers to crimp this down. Okay? And I hit it in 2 spots. Crimp it down real good. Alright. And we're going to cut this tag end off. There we go. So we got this treble hook off the end of this small piece of wire. And now, before we put our second treble on, we're going to put that piece of wire through that split ring. Okay? And this distance that we put the second treble is largely going to be based on the size of the deadbait you use. Okay? You know, I usually go 4 or 5 inches apart. So, next step. Another one of these small sleeves. Okay, get that sleeve on there. Treble hook. Okay. Wrap this around. Run it back through that sleeve. Okay. And again, I'm going to crimp it. Okay, so this rig is pretty much made up right now. Okay, one thing I like to do, this screw is screwed down nice and tight, and I like to pull on these just to make sure nothing's going to slip on me. Make sure those crimps are holding real good. Okay, that's a pretty good tug on it. And the last kind of thing that I do to these is I just take one of these little rubber bands. This is just the little rubber bands that you know, little girls put in their hair. Okay, and I push that through and I go around that split ring and around that thin piece of wire, and then I kind of come back through itself, and then you just pull that tight. Okay, alright, so you got this rubber band. Alright, we got this 50-pound fluorocarbon leader. We got our wire and we got our treble hooks. The beauty thing about this is you slide the deadbait through the rubber band. You put the deadbait about you put the rubber band about midpoint on the deadbait. You put a hook in each end of the deadbait, so you really got that good quick strike capabilities. And then when the fish takes it and you go to set the hook, a lot of times this split ring is going to slide one way or the other, okay? And whichever hook it slides to, that hook is going to stop it. And the opposite hook is often the hook that's going to be in the fish's mouth. So then you've got this small little piece of wire leader, and that's the only thing the fish can chomp on a lot of times. And it really works good. But anyways, that's how I make them, okay? Components again, you know, there's a lot of different brands, but this AFW is a good, real good brand. Size number 1, these little crimping sleeves. I always go with Gamakatsu hooks. I love Gamakatsu hooks. Usually number 4 or number 6, size treble, works great. P-line, 50-pound test fluorocarbon. Okay. The wire, AFW again, American fishing wire, toothproof, stainless steel, single strand, 27-pound test, that's what I like to use. And again, when I'm crimping them down, a lot of times I do just go with these electrical pliers. Like I say, sometimes those commercially bought crimpers, they really seem like they're designed for a little bit bigger crimping sleeves. And a lot of times they don't really get a good smush down on the crimping sleeves, and I've found that using these small little crimping sleeves, a lot of times those commercially bought pliers that are kind of designed for crimping sleeves, they don't crimp down tight enough, and I've actually had the trebles slip right out. So that's why I like to go with these electrical pliers. They squish down really nice right on the end there. Well, there you have it. That's how I make the ultimate quick strike rig, the K slide or the Knetter slide. You know, that's how I do it. Of course, there's a bajillion different variations. You could use all wire. You wouldn't have to use the fluorocarbon. You can use bigger hooks, smaller hooks. You can use different styles. You can use bigger wire. You can use different size crimps. You know, of course, there's many different ways to use it. But the rig itself really works good. You know, if you've ever fished for northern pike with dead bait, you know, really give it a try. I think you'd really like using this type of rig. And, you know, definitely, if you're still kind of wondering exactly how it works, like I say, check out that other video I did, that ice fishing, the ultimate quick strike rig. Check that video out. If you have any questions about actually just using dead bait in general, I did a video on just dead bait, and that one's called Ice Fishing Dead Bait Tricks. So, you know, this video, the ultimate quick strike rig video, and the dead bait tricks video, they all kind of tie together, you know. So if you're at all interested in trying to get some pike with some dead bait through the ice, I'd really check those other two out also. And hey, remember this: hunt, fish, laugh, repeat. This is Dave Knetter from Knetter's Practical Outdoors. Hey, thanks for watching and God bless.